Do you know why trees are a part of Christmas celebrations? Where did this tradition come from? Well, you may have heard some say that Christmas trees are just a pagan symbol that Christians stole from other religions. Now, this claim is a popular one, but it's not actually based on much historical evidence. The closest we have to anything like that is an old story about Saint Boniface, an English missionary who travelled to Germany to tell people about Jesus around the year 730 AD. The story goes that he came across some native Germans who were going to sacrifice a child to the god Thor in front of a large oak tree. To save the child, Saint Boniface chopped down the tree to the amazement of the Thor worshippers, who had expected Boniface to be struck down by lightning. In later accounts of the story, after the tree is chopped down, Saint Boniface noticed a small fir tree growing nearby. It was around Christmas time, and so Boniface told the Germans, "This little tree, a young child of the forest, shall be your holy tree tonight. It is the wood of peace, for your houses are built of the fir. It is the sign of an endless life, for its leaves are evergreen. See how it points upwards to heaven. Let this be called the tree of the Christ child. Gather about it, not in the wild wood, but in your own homes. There it will shelter no deeds of blood, but loving gifts and rites of kindness." Now, we don't know for sure if this later bit actually happened, but what we do know is trees were being used as a Christian symbol hundreds of years before Saint Boniface went to Germany. Most likely, the origin of Christmas trees goes way back to the medieval times in the 5th century. In an era when most people couldn't read the Bible for themselves, churches put on mystery or paradise plays in order to teach the people Bible stories. In the lead up to Christmas, the medieval church used to put on plays telling the whole story from the Garden of Eden to the coming of Christ. And one of the main features of this play was what they called a paradise tree. It was an evergreen tree that they hung red apples and white wafers on. The red apples represented the forbidden fruit, and the white wafers represented Christ. Believe it or not, this is actually where the tradition of hanging red baubles and other ornaments on the Christmas tree came from. Over time, the idea of using a decorated evergreen tree to remember and celebrate the birth of Christ became a tradition not only for church plays, but also for Christians individually. Lots of other religions have used trees and branches as part of the worship of their gods. But that doesn't make trees themselves a pagan symbol. God's people have had trees as part of their religious narrative from the very beginning, from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, to the olive leaf telling Noah the flood was over. Think of Moses and the burning bush and the branches used in the Feast of Booths, or to praise Jesus on Palm Sunday. The cross Jesus died on is even described as a tree. And in the last book of the Bible, the sign that the curse of death is gone is the return of the tree of life, whose leaves are for the healing of the nations.